Oh.
What's up?
This is really moving. A lot happening.
A lot's happening.
Why is my hand here?
Hmm?
I put it down.
What?
I don't know.
Thank you for sharing all of your inside thoughts with the outside.
That's the whole way this exists. That's the entire way this exists.
The whole show is just Patrick's
That's
in your
kind of,
thoughts.
Yeah.
kind of the point.
Yeah.
It's the only way it
Inside
works.
thoughts.
What are you thinking about?
Oh, would you like to know?
Yeah.
Just kidding. I'm thinking why are places to stay in Anaheim so expensive? Hello.
Are you going there sometime soon?
That's the goal. That is the goal. By
Support
sometime soon.
That's the
like,
goal standard.
The gold standard 3 weeks from now, maybe. I realize the last time that I went to a Disney, what's up, Kreider, was the week before Rise of the Resistance came out. I think I was there with you, Andrew, because we did Smuggler's Run, and your boy built a lightsaber.
Uh-huh.
But that was Rise of the Resistance was coming out the next week, and I have not ever ridden that ride.
That's crazy.
Oh. I've only ridden
Yeah.
it once, but I don't go nearly as much as you guys.
Because it's good. The ride is good.
It is very cool, yeah.
Yeah, it's that's what everybody says, that it's like it's amazing. And
It is good.
I will get to ride it for the first time. Funnily enough,
Real good.
I might get to ride it twice because I'm planning to go 2 days when I'm there.
That will be pretty much the only way you can ride it twice because the line takes forever.
Yeah, maybe. I guess it depends on how committed you are to. And then I realized you're not.
No, I'm not. But it's possible that one of the days that I go, that some work buddies are going to come out. So yeah, it should be.
Scott's
You think you
Moynihan
can convince them to go on a Star Wars ride?
Scott's Moynihan
and Biff Tenderloin?
and Biff. That's funny. If I had a stage name, it'd be Buff Tenderloin.
Yeah.
No,
kind of name?
Skips McClammy. That's what your stage name would be.
Anxious Anxious. I don't know, just something with more anxiety.
Anxious McAnxious.
Yeah. But Andrew, you met Rob. Rob will be going with me to Disney, and then maybe a couple other people. So what ride are we talking about? Right, I was saying, Kreider, I've never ridden Rise of the Resistance because the last time I went to a Disney was the week before it opened in Florida, I believe. I think
When
we went
Sean
to Disney
rides
World.
it, it's called Crides of the Resistance
Yeah, they changed the sign just for him.
because it's Kreider. His name is Kreider.
I don't think they do, but I'm excited
Somehow I'm
to go.
skeptical.
I was
They do, they
thinking,
don't.
like, I know at Disney you're not allowed to wear costumes, right? Like when you go to the
Yes.
park.
Unless it's a special time.
You-
like
So
Star
I
Wars
was
night or whatever.
thinking,
You can get away with
And you
some
can kind of
costume.
like do the like Disney bounding thing.
if I take off my shirt, I will look like a Wookiee.
I think that would count. Go for it.
I no.
Like, you
that's
would be
not true,
safe.
because you can't see Chewbacca's nipples.
Well, that's why I'm like, it's
And
not close enough that he's going to
Chewbacca
get
doesn't have
caught, but it
3
is
nipples.
convincing. Like, they'll know that he's being Chewbacca.
That's true. Oh man, I honestly
Would you
think
wear
that
the
ride,
bandolier thing?
I will wear a bandolier, and that's it. I honestly think that ride is closest thing to a religious experience that I've ever had.
Who said this?
Kreider? In the
Kreider
Chiat?
said this.
You know, when he rides it, it's called Crides of the
Shut
Resistance.
the fuck up. It's so
You
stupid.
don't get the joke the second time. We
I'm
don't.
gonna keep pushing it. It's good.
You'll get there. That's
That'll be
something
the
you
name of
have
the
to know.
episode if you do it the third time.
That's something you have to know about me. Is if you say it enough, you'll get me.
Yeah,
But not yet.
it's a numbers game. It's like
is a numbers
accounting, and I'm accounting on you both to think these are funny, because I don't have nearly as much sleep as I'd like to have had.
Are you like you're really just going hard on the dad jokes now?
No, he has a
Like
headache.
you just can't help yourself.
No, it's the headache.
It's just the headache.
The headache is
100%.
Do the
like,
puns make your headache better?
I don't even know how to respond to that.
Because it feels like I'm a little like I'm gonna be a little bit chill, but I'm still gonna be funny. And
I'm
so
trying.
Therefore, it's like the
I'm
puns.
trying
Yeah.
so
You're doing your
hard.
best.
None of this is natural for me.
It's fine. It's fine.
You only had a new baby for like 2 weeks.
She is, what, 2.5 weeks now? 2.5
Yeah.
weeks. She's pretty cool.
I was close. She's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
pretty cool.
Glad to hear it.
One
You don't
of
want her
these
to
days
suck.
I'll
Yeah.
put her on here and I'll hold
Aw.
her like this. She's like about this big.
Just a little guy.
She's just a thing.
This is what I would say if we had a different podcast. So anyway, I'm good to get started if you want to clap us in.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get to say that to him in person in a couple weeks.
You'll get to say it to him in person.
Ooh.
Yeah, Sean is coming to Austin, and
What
That
does
was
it mean?
awesome.
Yeah,
No, Austin. What does it mean to
Austin's
Simba
close
her?
enough. I don't
What?
know what that means.
I don't know. She's
I
just
think she's
laughing.
correcting herself from before Simba her, but I still don't know
Simba
what that means.
her.
Oh, the baby. Like do the Simba thing.
To lift her up.
Oh, I thought it was like a finishing move. It is not. I see. Simba her.
Simba her.
I thought it was just to skirt your responsibilities.
Simba
until
her
you're an
sounds like a
adult
D&D
and then
name
go and
for sure.
finally do it after everything's gone to hell. I thought that's what
Yes.
you guys want a podcast?
Yep. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I have some. Oh, we'll start the show.
3 and 2 and 1 and
Whoa.
That was so fast and jazzy.
Whoa, that's fine. Just leave it. I don't even use it anyway.
You guys clapped at the exact same time though, so
just leave it.
say what you
All right.
will. And
We
you
knew what
guys
to
kill
do.
it.
Kick us in. Kick us in.
The instincts were there.
Maybe I should go get. I'll
Do you
wait.
need to
Yeah.
get things
Maybe
before
I
we
should go
start?
get-
Go on, get.
I'll talk about him, and then if I need to go get him, I'll go get him. So that way, it's more inconvenient later.
Just go get them now before we
Right
start.
now. Go.
I mean, this is a visual
Let me see.
medium.
Let me see how accessible they
Patrick,
are.
go now.
I'll be back. I have
He
to see how
doesn't,
accessible.
Mackenzie,
like
help him.
standing. He doesn't like
You-
standing
oh my
up
God.
on camera. Did you know that?
I didn't know that. You're just like RuPaul.
He does not like standing up on camera. He will always turn the camera off, even if he's just standing up to pick up something behind him.
That's really. That means he's not wearing pants.
Yeah, it's I think it's just his butt crack is constantly accessible to the world. That's what I'm thinking.
That's a really unique superpower.
Nudists.
Yeah, true.
So that's a person who has it.
Who has
does
it? That's certain je ne sais quoi.
Mackenzie doesn't know what he's looking for.
I don't think Patrick knows what he's looking for. This is
He's-
taking a while.
He's just trying to find some. They're clearly not. It clearly
I
wasn't.
feel like he
accessible.
didn't prepare, and he's just like, "What can I talk about? Quick!"
Well, no, he for sure prepared because remember, as soon as I hopped online, the first thing he said to me was what he was talking about.
Oh, I will say something funny. When I was listening to last week's episode, that he said that he had prepared notes about the third book of Dungeon Crawler Carl, but was meaning to talk about the second. I'm like,
Yes.
didn't you like notice that it didn't sound familiar?
No, I get it. I can understand. There's enough similarities of what's happening to be like, oh, maybe I just no. Yeah, how did that happen?
I was
'Cause
like,
there's obvious plot points
yeah.
that are different. I don't know. It's fine.
I guess if you're like marathon audiobooking, like binging them, it would like kind of blend together
Oh,
as
no, I
one
know
book,
why.
perhaps. But
I know why. Because
Yeah.
he had started book 3. Like he's already in book 3,
Yeah.
so he already knows some of the details of it. So it wasn't like
It was just
like-
funny to me that I'm like, this didn't ring any bells where you're like, I don't know. Because I've definitely like come back to TV shows and like started a season later than I thought I left off. And I'm like, I don't remember this stuff.
yeah,
Why do we not remember?
this stuff.
Okay, makes sense.
Did you find
Did
what
you
you're
find
looking
it? Yeah.
I still have it. Yeah, I did actually.
for? Okay, here we go. I'm gonna kick us off. Welcome to episode 586 of the Pop Culture Roundtable, the podcast that can't take back what we said, even if we wanted to. In this episode, we talk about Stranger Things' final season, Land of Eam, and Stop Killing Games. I'm Andrew Sale.
I'm Lauren Rubin.
I'm Patrick Hill.
So get ready for an all-nonsense take on the least important things possible, because it's time for another episode.
And I think I took that personally.
That's good.
Thank you.
That's good. We like to kick off every episode by going around the table, which is where we talk about things that are new, fun, and noteworthy about our week. Patrick, I feel like you have been in search of something to show us, so why don't we let you kick it off?
You
Here's
really
the
built
thing.
up the suspense.
Yeah.
Thank you. So I am going back, hold your applause, to Disney. And it's been several years since I've been. The last time I went was the week before Rise of the Resistance opened in Florida, I believe, Disney World.
Yes.
Yeah. I was with you, so you can vouch for this. And I
He
haven't
forgot
been
his
since.
lightsaber in Florida, so yeah.
Yes. Wait, he what?
He got his lightsaber in Florida.
Oh, I knew that. I thought you said he forgot it in Florida, and then I thought there was this whole saga. And I was like, but you bought kyber crystals for it later. What?
A Star Wars saga?
I
Huh.
was thinking that.
That's
Quest
a
for a
new,
lightsaber? Who would have thought?
a new joke. So anyway,
Chapter 4.
I'm
a new
excited to
joke.
go back, and I'm
my
excited
God.
to get to ride Rise of the Resistance.
Yeah.
One thing has been happening at Disney for the last several years, and that's that everything has gotten more expensive.
Yes.
And to offset that, I am planning on selling. That's okay. Hold on. Let me just pause real quick.
I'm so happy
This is
about
way funnier
I'm
than
so happy
anything.
about
This is way before the. It doesn't matter. This is
You
way
needed to
funnier
just be here earlier, but this is
than
perfect.
anything you said, Andrew.
It's not.
Okay.
It is literally what I said, but just in a
But
future
better.
context. That is only fun. It is funnier because of what I said earlier.
Yes.
Kreider and I are a team in this. It's fine.
No,
I'm Abbott,
if I had
he's
heard
other
just
Abbotts.
this, I
Just two
still would have laughed.
Other Abbott. I'm
So-
Abbott. He's Abbott Elementary.
It's gotten more expensive, which means I need to sell some stuff. So I'm gonna list. I don't want to try to sell a lot of stuff.
body?
Like, no.
I still give
So-
it away for free, huh? Okay.
I'm not going to sell a lot of stuff because selling a lot of stuff is just a pain. Like the amount of trips I've taken to the post office, I'd rather do a couple more meaningful items.
And sell it
so
to people you know, so you don't have to actually mail it.
maybe, but I have 3 specific items that I'm going to show you
Great.
that I'm intending to list for sale this week. And if you have any tips on where to list them, I'd appreciate it. One is the first edition of the Loch Nesters Dunny.
Oh, that's a good one.
The first one is like a charcoal. The second one I think they did in like a blue. But all the pieces of the Dunny fit together in like these like puzzle pieces.
Super satisfying,
Very cool.
smooth, rock-like.
Very.
Puzzle.
I have never displayed this. I did get it, but I didn't display it. This is unit. I don't know how big the run was. This was unit 243 of the run. And then it just shows how it all assembles on the back. The packaging is slightly annoying for it, by
Yeah.
the way. Hey, Kate. Have you seen one of these in person, Andrew?
Yours.
Oh, well, so you have to apply like weather stripping. It's
Yep.
like literally like
Oh,
trimmed
wow.
weather stripping that you have to like do to seal it in the
You
case.
almost
which
have
has
to
been
get
annoying.
like a holder to display just the case.
Well, yeah.
I mean, the case is kind of not my favorite. I wouldn't be displaying that.
What? It's like this is like Hans Olo. What are you talking about?
If you spray painted it silver, we can talk.
All right, and then the second one. And I don't know what this one. I don't know what any of these are worth, but this guy right here.
Yeah. I have
So
him.
this is super plastic. They have done again 2 of these. This is the Gugamun Chop Chop.
Yeah.
This is the first one that came out.
Yeah, it's
so
the
I
first
believe the
edition.
first one. So it's kind of like looks like a bootleg Mickey with an axe and a face mask. They did release. There's a colorway that's way cooler than this one, which is I think it's black with like gold accents, which is pretty rad. But that's the first one, super plastic. And I don't want anybody to get left out. And so this is the other one that I'm on the fence about letting go of, but I've decided I'm going to. And this is the OG Devil Bunny. I'm showing you the back of the box. Let me show you the front of the box.
Oh.
So this represents... So Kid Robot, for those that don't know, the first
Tristan-
Dunny was designed by Tristan Eaton.
Yeah.
And I think there was like a big falling out. And so he wouldn't work with the founder at the time. But this is supposed to represent the initial napkin sketch. So the outside of the box shows the napkin sketch. Inside, there's a certificate of authenticity. And it's signed... well, let's see. The dates... it says I was number 223 out of 250. And then I've also never displayed this one. It's
You
never,
also
I
made
don't.
the cut.
I've never even slid it out of the packaging before. This is the most I've looked at it.
Very
but-
cool.
Actually, I don't remember what order that goes on, so I'll put that there, and then I'll put that there.
The foam goes on first, and the paper goes on top of the foam.
Wait, the paper goes on top of the phone? Is that what I
Yes.
did?
It's the first thing you open up. When you first open it up, there's a piece of paper, and then the foam is underneath that, and then the foam directly covers the figure. That's pretty standard
makes sense.
practice for that stuff.
Yeah, but I feel like this could slide out the side. I don't love it. In any event, OG Devil Bunny.
Yeah.
These were made a couple years ago. They did one run of them, I think 250. And again, this is like the representation of the sketch that then became the dunny that we all know, the Devil Bunny. So anyway, those are what are hopefully going to help fund part of my trip to the West Coast. If you're interested in any of them,
Nice.
or if you know where it would make sense for me to sell any of these, let me know. And I do have other pieces. Anything behind me, I mean, I have other items I'm willing to sell. These are the ones I just think are probably the most desirable and like the least lift for me to get rid of and be meaningful.
Yeah.
But if there's anything else I've talked about the show that's in my collection, you can always hit me up regarding it. So
You know,
just don't try to get this guy, my little rat-a-tat back here. I
That was the one I wanted.
I know. That's the
or this guy.
bro.
Ooh.
I wish I still had that dude. By the way,
I know you do.
I wish I still had that dude.
I keep it here to look at as an FU to you.
Thank you. No, that's the Hot Raspberry Cranky, and I do really love that figure. There's been several colors that have come out. I think Hot Raspberry is supposed to be one of the first colorways. I think it's supposed to be meaningful that way, but it's people always love it because you shake it and it has the rattle, like that always like excites people. So
Hot Raspberry, by the way, is my stage name. So you're
nice.
Yeah.
what is your anxious
Tenderloin or whatever.
Anxious McTenderloin. Just kidding. Anyway, so that's the big thing. Beyond that, I did finally watch Poop Cruise. It's maybe not
I
worth
watched
the
that
watch.
too. It
It's
was
fine.
watching people on TikTok summarize it was more entertaining than the actual like documentary.
Kind of slow and not really that shocking. I thought what was asked of them was very reasonable, and
Yeah.
everybody they got to interview was like freaking out, like, "Oh, there's no way I'm going to participate and be part of society." They all kind of sucked in that way.
I mean, they were on there for a pretty long time. It definitely like was not great.
I get it. Like, I mean, I don't get it. I haven't. had
But
to
I
do it.
do feel like that the way that the documentary like posed those people was to make them look like they just weren't cooperating. Like how annoying. Like
Did you
and I did
love-
love the like framing of the wholesome family, like, I went with my father-in-law and we really bonded over pooping in bags together.
I wish I had that relationship with my father-in-law.
I thought that was
talk
the
about
best
that
part
stuff.
about it, that they like kept framing it with that story.
Yeah, did you love the lawyer at the end?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, he was a freaking character. But it kind of slow. So if you're on the fence about whether or not you want to see people suffer on a cruise ship, there's better documentaries out there. But if you're just bored and feel like you got to find something to watch, it's available.
I put it on while
to
I was
you.
working, and that was pretty great because it's like a lot of talking and like you hear this ridiculous story, but it's not
It
my
is
favorite.
ridiculous. But the best thing I watched this week that had an ending was The Bear season 4. I mentioned last week that it started. There's the first couple episodes. A lot of people, me included, feel that season 3 was pretty weak, and feel that season 3 was a bit overly lost in this abstract, dramatic, anxious, whiny place. At least
That's your stage name.
yes, yeah, it's
Anxious,
long.
whiny place.
At least the main character Carmi was, and we just spent so much time with him. There was a lot about like, hey, dreams don't always work out, and like even people that you think are in a great place that are where you want to be, things can suck for them too. So maybe the thing you're shooting for can't even be real. And then going into this season, the first couple episodes are still that. So it's a bit of this like emotional hangover that goes on. But around episode 4 to 5, but especially 5, the tempo shifts. We suddenly have hope. We suddenly have people realizing like, oh, I don't have to do this thing just because I've always done this thing. I there's other things available to me. And so then the rest of the season really builds on this idea of hope for everybody. And yeah, it was a much better end. The end of season 4 was a welcome reprieve from what season 3 kind of represented. So from that standpoint, if you're a completionist and want to continue watching the show, but you didn't love season 3, just know that season 4 gets to a better place.
It gets better.
Is this the last season, or
You said episode 4 is when that turn happens?
Maybe towards for sure episode 5, maybe partially in episode 4, but definitely episode 5.
And Cooper told me that episode, I think 7, is higher rated than Forks, which has up to now been the most highly rated episode of the entire series.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember which episode that is. That might be the wedding episode. Mackenzie, you know better than me. But again, that's a very good episode. And again, it's all building on this idea of hope. And there is a really great moment with Carmi and his mom in it's like the last episode. There's this really great moment that I want to talk about, but I know that y'all are intending to see it. Yes. It's not better than Forks, I would agree, but it's still a good episode, and I think it's the strongest episode we've had in a while. Okay. But I'll wait until y'all have seen it, and then I'll dig into some of the imagery that I think is there. All in all, if you're a completionist, stick with it, or if you want to rekindle some of what the bear was in season 2, stick with it. But that said, it's still a heavier show than it was season 1. But there is hope. Okay, that's everything from my side. I'm excited to talk about my category when we get to master categories, but that's all the new stuff. Andrew,
yeah, let me take charge.
Great, have it.
Here it comes. Before I start mine, I'm just gonna. I said that I would bring in Daphne at some point. She's awake and she's happy, so now is that point. So I'm gonna let Becca hand her to me real quick.
time.
Becca is being very careful to not show up on camera.
Oh, no.
I don't know why, but this is Daphne.
Hi, baby.
Excuse me.
So cute.
Wow.
You want to say hi?
First time on the podcast.
Mackenzie hasn't even been on the podcast.
Oh,
that's true.
That is true.
Yeah, so this is Daphne.
Yo, Daphne.
She looks sleepy.
She's looking square at the camera right now, so that's pretty good.
She can't hear anything that we're saying, I'm realizing now.
So cute.
That's
Daphne?
for you.
Oh, yeah, Daphne can't hear you guys. No.
This is for you.
Okay.
Maybe you can read, though.
Aw.
So
yeah,
I'll
or
just
at least
give
like
you
the
little
flashing lights
messages.
and stuff.
She's pretty cool. So that's it.
She's pretty cool.
She'll probably say her first words in the next 2 weeks. She's pretty advanced.
Yeah.
And she does,
Mackenzie's
we'll
encouraging
have her
your
back.
baby to poop on camera, I think. Throw them deuces.
If she stays on camera for more than 3 minutes, she will be pooping. I promise you.
That's just what babies do.
I said
Sleep,
tonight that
poop.
we have a
That's it.
Cooper sale and a pooper sale. Those are the those are the two kids.
Still better than your Kreider joke.
That's fine.
Yeah.
They all accumulate,
Aw.
Patrick. So anyway, this is Daphne. I'm gonna hand her back off. Bye, Daphne.
So cute. Congrats, guys.
Why are you just come grab her?
I mean, carefully.
She's
Carefully.
hiding. Yeah.
Becca's response to me just now was, because wives don't do that. Not wives in general, but wives on the show.
Yeah.
Is what she means.
if
Like
she
Mackenzie's
went
never
to
been on the yes, like
Yeah.
True.
she's
If she
following the preset
No,
rules.
hands
that
are
we have.
allowed.
Yeah.
It is funny that we've never.
I think Mackenzie's been in the background before.
It's probably true.
Yeah, and then
at
I
this
like
point,
shoot
Yeah,
her
like or brought
away.
you something or
We do have this like unwritten rule.
yeah.
I've got a list of non-negotiables that I have hanging on my wall right there, and one of them is no wives. You will assume
So
I'm
if
single
I
and I live in a
marry a
basement.
lady, then she can't come on. But if I have a guy, he can come.
I thought you said if I bury a lady, which was a big turn.
No.
Everyone knows I cremate.
Glad you finished that word.
My headache's.
Are you about to say your headache's worse now?
He said it was better.
Oh, okay.
No, my headache's better now. Yeah. Now I'm banging on
Little
all
baby
cylinders.
gets all better.
Peace. All right, Andrew. What else? What else?
Okay, sorry. So that's the beginning.
Aren't you
I
glad?
don't know why I said that out loud.
Aren't you glad that your baby's not ugly?
I am very glad that my baby's. Genuinely, one of the first things that we said to each other after everything was done was like, "I'm so glad we don't have to pretend."
And that other people don't have to also pretend.
Like, because that happens. Like, people say like every baby's beautiful. That isn't true, and no one actually believes that. Even people who say that privately are like, "Yeah, but
did you see that baby?"
Yeah, exactly.
They're all cute except for that one.
Even if beautiful is the definition, the spectrum is wide.
Yeah,
so,
sure.
Right.
So yeah, I'm grateful for that. Exactly.
I will say that I wasn't even considering the fact that you're a new father. There are parts of this season of The Bear, towards like episode 7, around that time, that are going to be more meaningful to you because of it.
Okay. Maybe that's
He's been a parent this whole time.
Not because of
Just
Cooper, to be clear. Only because of Daphne.
parent again. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is funny. People are talking to me when they say things to me. They're like, "Oh, you'll find out. It's blah blah blah." I'm like, "I've fucking done this before. What are you talking about?" Like,
I have a kid.
it genuinely feels so
You know
condescending.
him.
When people say things like that to me, it feels so condescending. It's
no.
like, yeah, it makes me mad for Cooper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Like, what are you doing? Yeah, this is not this. You're an idiot.
Is it a Milford man? What's it called?
Yeah, it is Milford. And what's the? Gosh, I wish I could remember the slogan. Dang it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's not
Children
like,
are
it's
never
not like,
seen or heard. Is that the thing from Arrested
Arrested
Development?
Development.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's not like
yeah.
that's what Cooper is.
No, he's
Yeah, he's
very
not invisible.
prominent. A very prominent person in my life. All right, F1 film. I saw that this week.
Ooh, what'd you
That
think?
movie was fantastic. I didn't actually have a ton of
You're just really leaning into the dad content so hard.
What, F1?
Yes.
Who would come on this
I don't think I
podcast
could think
and
of a
talk
more
about
dad
golf?
movie than F1.
Yeah, exactly. I went and saw. I didn't have a ton of desire to see it, although Cooper and his mom are into F1, and so I kind of get bits and pieces of it here and there from him. But they did some really cool stuff with their marketing. They did, because it's an Apple film. They did like this optimized trailer for the phone, so it uses the haptics of your phone, and so if you watch it, we'll find a link to it. We'll put the link to it in the show notes. But if you have an iPhone and you watch the trailer to the movie, it's a special haptic one where when the cars rumble and when they drive and things, your phone, it's like a 4D experience on your iPhone. It's a really, really cool thing. So the marketing got me intrigued. I like Brad Pitt enough. It looked nice. And then, of course, Cooper liked it. So we went and saw it. It's phenomenal. Like, the movie is very, very good.
What did you think about Brad Pitt's performance in the film?
So it's funny that you asked that, because I thought about his performance in the movie, which in and of itself is actually not a great thing. Like, right, you want to be immersed in a story and not feel like you're watching an actor. But he was Brad Pitt. And I've realized Brad Pitt I don't know if Brad Pitt is an incredibly good actor. I think people write roles for Brad Pitt. He's not like this chameleon that can become all these different things. I don't even know how good he is at expressing like the full range of emotions. As I started thinking about this movie and then other movies that he's been in, I think he does the thing that Brad Pitt does really well, which is kind of like a cool kind of breezy, like blow it off, like cool under the surface kind of role, but it's not very emotional. And so I don't know that he's particularly a good actor. He is incredibly good looking.
I mean, he is a good actor, but I did hear someone else say that they thought that this was actually like the worst Brad Pitt performance they had seen.
I guess that's
inside
kind of what I mean.
of good film.
Maybe this just wasn't like a great fit for him for whatever reason.
No, I do think it was.
I mean, I haven't seen this movie, so yeah.
I think it was a good fit. My point is, an actor to me is somebody who like they take on a persona, and that persona is wholly different. You think about someone like Christian Bale, you think about someone like Joaquin Phoenix, you think about some of these guys who fully transform their body, not just their bodies, but like the way that they are. Colin Farrell is a great example of this, especially if you think it like his one of his newest roles as the Penguin. Totally different kind of person, and so much so that it's unrecognizable, not just because of the makeup, but because of their performance. I think you're always gonna, even if they put a ton of makeup on Brad Pitt, I think you're gonna always know it's Brad Pitt, because I don't think his performance changes a ton from role to role.
It's funny because the
what
one
I
I'm
mean by
thinking where like he like changes like the most from that like thing that you're talking about is like Interview with the Vampire, which I don't think he is the strongest actor in at all.
that. And that's
like,
one of his first roles,
I
right?
do
Like,
think that if you
no,
consider like
I mean he is much younger, but like yeah, it's also against Tom Cruise. So
what you're talking about with that kind of like just breezy masculine demeanor, I agree that a lot of his more recent films have been that. There was an interview that I might be mischaracterizing this, but he was doing an interview about the time of as Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And I think he was in an interview with Tarantino, and he was talking about his like what he brought to the film and the people he was working with, and he made a statement along the lines of he was kind of intending to phone it in, but then he saw how hard everyone else was working, and then there was a bit of like, oh, do I care about
Maybe
it as
I
much
should
as
do something
these
here.
people care about it? Or like, am I like, or maybe that's what it was more than that. It's just this idea of like, I know what I'm putting into it, and I see what these people are putting into it. Do I not care about it the way that real actors care about it? And that kind of stuck with me, is that idea of like, oh, maybe it is kind of this like breezy thing for him. But I don't think that's historically been the case. And I think there's a lot of, other movies that would disprove that. But
Tom brought up some good ones in the chat, like 12 Monkeys and Burn After Reading are very like different type of Brad Pitt roles. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Maybe this just wasn't the one for him.
But it is true. The character you're describing, Andrew, I agree. That seems like it's been the last several.
I mean,
Brad
that's
Pitt
even kind
films,
of like
so.
Fight Club, like
exactly.
That's like
And
Snatch, like very similar.
I guess I want to say, I know I just said that I don't think he's a good actor. I want to kind of
Maybe
track
just
that
in
back.
this movie.
Track that back a little bit. I don't think he's a bad actor. I think he plays this role really well. That's maybe what I'm trying to say.
Sure.
When I say an actor, I say actor, and I think somebody who can play any role, with any amount of depth, with any amount of emotional kind of spectrum. I don't know that he can, because most of his roles are this role. So that's maybe more what I mean. He's obviously talented, but again, I think there's a bit where he may be skirting by a little bit on his looks, like a Megan Fox type situation, right? Like
it is not to that degree, not even close.
I will quote.
Don't you dare hurt Brad
maybe
Pitt's
you're
feelings.
maybe you're selling short Megan Fox, because I don't think Megan Fox is terrible.
The only movie I've liked her in is Jennifer's Body.
No. Wasn't she in
Ninja Turtles?
Transformers.
It's just what's the TV show?
Yeah, she was in New Girl for a bit.
Yeah.
Oh, I
she's
never
great in
watched
New
when
Girl.
she was on it, so I can't compare.
All I'm saying is, maybe these actors are maybe a bit more one note than some other ones. That's all I want to say.
Oh, I was gonna say Gal Gadot maybe is a better example of
Gal Gadot is
getting
terrible.
away on how she looks.
Gal Gadot is the Margaret Thatcher of our time. And
In
I'll go
that
on
she
record.
acts about as well as Margaret Thatcher.
I was like, please explain this analogy.
She's the Anne Heche of the Hollywood scene.
What?
I'm saying they're nonsense.
Writers,
Things,
wait, hold on. We have to turn real quick. After Lauren disparaged, what's her name?
What's her name? Wow. Yeah,
Jennifer
I'm the
Coolidge.
one hurting their feelings.
Jennifer Gardner.
Yes.
Gardening.
Yes. Jennifer's
after-
body gardening.
Yes.
Yes. We brought up that she was on New Girl,
Yeah.
Megan Fox. And then I said I liked Megan Fox. Kreider also said that
Megan
she
V.
liked
Fox.
Megan
Sorry, go ahead.
the Fox
Yes,
Stallion
Megan V.
on
Fox.
New Girl. And Kreider said the best episodes because there's no Jess. Are you suggesting that Jess is the worst character in that show?
She ends up
That
being
is
the
certainly
worst
what that
character.
comment implies.
But by the end of the show, she is the one that I could literally do without. Yeah.
But I don't
for
know
sure.
that I thought she was. There are some episodes where her style of humor really do shine.
It's just
like when she's
grating.
high trying to break what's her name out of like jail, or maybe she gets arrested at like mall jail when she tries to steal the toaster or
with
whatever.
Allie, and that's when Allie has to pull the cop
That's
stuff, yeah.
one of my favorite episodes, and she's at the forefront of that episode.
Yeah, but I do agree. Of all of them, she is the weakest character. Maybe not as an actress, but like her character doesn't seem to evolve as quite as much as some of the other ones do. And
Okay,
so by the
fair
later
play.
seasons, it feels like I am much more invested in what's happening with Schmidt and what's happening with Winston and what's happening with Nick than I am what's happening with
Nick's
with Jess.
storyline is more real than the other
It's
characters.
wild. It's wild.
Yeah. His storyline like goes places and makes you go like, oh, is this still a comedy right now? Because this seems kind of dark.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough that,
I didn't
that
get
she
this far in the
does
show.
evolve in a negative way. Now, instead of a podcast, this is us reading chat.
Without actually reading the comments out loud so it makes any sense to
quietly
people
reading
listening.
chat.
Yeah, okay.
On it.
and then responding.
Okay. Then this
Okay.
was just in response to F1 and Brad Pitt. Andrew,
Okay,
keep going.
I'm calling it out. We won't do it now, but we need to think. We need to take like the last. Let's call it. Like, we can call it like the last 15 years or whatever. We need to look at sitcoms and we need to rank like best sitcoms of the last 15 years, and we need
I
to
feel like
put a
I'll
stake
just
in
have to
some of
like
this stuff.
officiate because I'm sure that I have not watched as many as you guys.
For sure. Yeah. This is where
We'll
we
get
will
on it.
shine.
We'll put
Yeah.
a pin in
We'll
it
shine.
now, but we need
Yeah,
to do a
I'll
sitcom
host this.
focused
You guys
episode.
can figure it out.
That'd be great.
But with nothing
Okay.
new.
So anyway, all that said, the F1 film
F1.
is phenomenal. Like there's a couple of areas you have to get over some of like the tropey type things that you know are gonna happen in these kind of underdog scenarios. But it's a great film, and the actors had to learn how to drive F1. Like a lot of these are actually them in car driving F1. There's not nearly as much CG in like maybe in the traditional sense that you would think that there would be when there's actors like Brad Pitt out there on the but it's Brad Pitt and
I'm very surprised that they let like Brad Pitt.
But they actually were out there
drive an F1 car
with
for
professional F1 drivers. They filmed during the actual races, like they went during race weekends.
So the
and-
professional driver is driving. Brad Pitt has like a fake steering wheel. I'm gonna have to look up how they filmed
he's actually
it.
driving his. You can only have one.
Okay.
Yeah, he's driving.
I was like, it's movie magic. I don't know.
He's driving. He's driving some Formula. Now he's not driving necessarily at speed.
Yeah, that's the thing. I was like, the whole movie's like budget then had to be like insurance for Brad Pitt.
Exactly. But yeah, he did months worth of training in car training, and drove. And
Yeah.
I think the majority of the film, if not all of it, was filmed on iPhone.
That's interesting.
Because it's an Apple film, right? So
They're
don't hold
making
me
up
to
for it.
don't hold me to the percentage of the
It's
film,
an
but I know
awful
that
looking film. Sounds
Yes.
terrible,
yeah,
but
you
it's
can't
an
hear it
Apple
at
film.
all. It's just real shaky. But it's great, and it's a film that I would actually say warrants seeing it in a theater. I think that definitely increases the percentage of appreciation you have for it because of just the visceral feel of the car and the sounds. The soundtrack is pretty great too. But anyway, I 100% recommend F1. It's a great movie. Your heart is racing the whole time. Like you're.
I talked to my doctor
I
about
feel like that should be the quote on the poster.
Yeah.
Andrew with a
full,
three
full
in-
stop.
with threes
Full stop,
instead of
I would
E's.
say go watch. Even if you don't love
Yeah.
race cars, like I'm not a race car boy. I wouldn't call
Yeah.
myself a racist. But it is it's so good. I like
What
calling
is
them
your resting
I like
heart
calling them
rate?
F1 racists, by the way.
Yeah.
When I talk to my friend Eddie is a big
I guess I'm a
F1 guy.
RuPaul drag racist.
Yeah, I like to talk about Eddie about his love of F1 racists. What did you say, Patrick? About
What's your resting heart rate?
right now? Probably like
You would consider
70?
this at rest?
78. What? No, like
Is this
my current health stage of life right
Oh,
now. My
I
resting
see.
heart rate is probably 78 or 79.
Okay.
When I'm in like full running mode, my resting heart rate is like 58. It's like
Wow.
wild. Yeah, it gets pretty low when I'm like in race mode. Okay. That's F1. Go see it before it leaves theaters. Otherwise, it'll be on Apple TV shortly.
Let's just title this episode Racism.
That's good.
It's gonna get some clicks.
An episode on racism.
Racism. Stranger Things 5.
Ryan Trahan. I don't know that we've talked about him on the show.
We have.
You
I talked
okay.
about him when he was doing his Penny Across America.
Great. His
Yes.
current series. Have you watched any of it?
So I watched the first episode, and then I popped in for like a couple states I was familiar with.
Okay, so
I only know like 5 states.
He's currently doing that's 1/10 of the amount of states that there are. He's doing a 50 states in 50 days series, and it's he's trying to stay at the coolest Airbnb in the United States. So he's trying to stay at the coolest Airbnb in each state for 50 days, and he has like these rules that he set up. I won't go deep into it, but he has gamified this, and the whole thing is a fundraiser. So he's fundraising money for St. Jude's Children's Hospital.
Nice.
And I won't go into all of the stuff because I think you should watch. You should give it a watch. Each day he releases another episode at 10 a.m. Central Time. So figure out where you are in the world based on that time and add or subtract, and that's when the episodes come out every day. He's on today was state 28, so he's just a little bit over halfway. So there's still time to. This one was. What was it? He was
Or
in
what was the
Connecticut
last one?
yesterday.
I'm kind of curious
He's
what
in Connecticut
general area.
yesterday. He's in New England.
Okay.
I don't
cool.
think it's Vermont. Maybe it was Vermont. No, Rhode Island.
What's an
He's in Rhode Island.
example of a really cool Airbnb that he stayed at? Sorry.
Great that you asked that. So a couple of them have been missile silos, like bunkers
What?
underground that were actual active missile silos that have
That's
been converted.
insane.
One of them is a
That would
tree
be
house.
scary.
A tree house. A
The
literal
Acorn
treehouse.
ones seem kind of bad. So the Acorn one's like the first one.
The very
But it's
first-
just
it
for
was in
one night.
Texas.
This is
Yeah.
like for novelty. Like I'd sleep in a treehouse.
Yeah,
but like
no.
it had
The Acorn
AC.
one's not the treehouse one.
Sorry.
The treehouse one is phenomenal. It's currently their number one.
Ooh,
Yeah,
cool.
And that's
the
in, I think it's in
Acorn one,
Oklahoma.
The AC sucked, and you had to go outside and walk that far to get to the bathroom.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
So those are the
it's
kind of
summer.
things that he stayed. One of them he stayed in a container house, and then he stayed in that was in Florida, and he stayed in one that was on a watchtower 60 feet up.
Yeah, I did see
Oh,
that one
that's
actually.
cool.
I think that was the one where they had to they had to swap their vehicles over. Is that one?
That's the one. That one was in Georgia, right? It was
think
somewhere in
so.
the South. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was in Appalachia.
Okay.
Maybe it was Kentucky, but they had to. It was so remote that the Airbnb they had to park their car and swap over into a Jeep because they had to drive
wow.
a Jeep through a river to get to the watchtower.
So this is like kind of like Firewatch, like an overlook almost, like kind
basically,
of thing. Yeah.
but it's beautiful. Like
Yeah.
it's like really really nice. So if you're a fan of just like eclectic places to stay, this is a great watch. Ryan, this is one of the first things that he's doing where he's actually doing it with his wife, Haley. So it's the two of them going around for 50 days. They are just a really lovely couple. And you can watch this with your kids. You can watch this with your whole family. It's really nice. It's only 20 to 30 minute episodes each day. He's really fun and his editing style is really unique. He's just really great.
Do you know what his fundraiser is up to already?
So their original goal was to meet $1 million to give to St. Jude. Well, spoiler alert, they hit that. So then they set a $2 million goal, and there's a whole gamified element to this that I'm not telling you because I want you to go and watch it. But they have different things that they hit, these milestones that they hit when there's different donations at different points. But
cool.
They hit the $2 million goal, and so they set a $3 million goal, and I'm just going to leave it at that. They hit the $2 million goal last week, so I'm just going to say that. So you will see some people donating that you know of. Mark Rober donated. Mr. Beast donated $50,000. Mark Rober donated $50,001. So like it's fun. There's some businesses that are donating.
To be rich.
It's just so it's so wholesome. It's so fun. Every episode, at the end of the episode, they read off. They look at the They look at the donations and they read off the donations and just give these thank yous, and you get to hear some of the stories of some of the people donating. It's just a really, really nice, wholesome thing. So
I will say, like Ryan Trahan, I think if you watch someone like that for the first time, he can come across as a little bit of like playing a character. I do think the more you watch him, the more you realize that, like it seems actually very like genuine and sincere, and he still puts himself in positions. He doesn't like the positions he puts himself in kind of proves it's not a joke, if that makes sense. Yeah. Because if it was a joke, I think he would like back out or he would like spin it some way. But I don't know. The more I watch the guy, the more I realize, number one, a lot of people try to ape his style.
Yes.
And number two, I do think his style is very genuine and very endearing over time. So if you
genuine
like watch
is the word. That's the word that I would say.
So if you watch him in the first episode, you're like cringing a little bit, but you still think the content could be interesting, I encourage you to keep watching because I think he will grow on you.
He's just like cheesy, or
he comes across as kind of a little immature, but not in like a quirky way, not in like a wow, that guy's a real douche kind of immature,
just like
maybe
awkward,
maybe a little naive,
weird.
a little naive,
okay.
Yeah,
right?
Okay.
So like he's a little innocent, which I think in a lot of ways he actually is, and he's a lot of these experiences he's experiencing for the first time, and so you're there with him. He's only 26, so he's not super old.
Yeah.
Anyway, Ryan Trahan, 50 states, 50 days. It's a great series, and you can be a part of it right now. Like it's actively happening. So take a look. We'll put a link to the latest episode in this in the show notes so that you can see that. Okay, that's it. Other than that, we've been given a ton of food by people. And it's been so generous, and because of that, I am so full of so much food. Becca,
You're not hungry.
Becca and I hugged yesterday, and she was like, "How does it feel to not have a belly between us?" I said, "There is, but it's just mine."
Now you don't have like the real baby; you have food baby.
Yeah, now there's just food baby, and I'm the one carrying the load. So that's the world that I'm living in right now. All right, Lauren, take us home with this.
All right. I've been up to a lot of stuff. I've been gone for a long time since I wasn't here last week, but I'll try and keep it short. Just the like top tier stuff. We had a really fun movie marathon for 4th of July because it was supposed to rain. Didn't end up raining where I'm at in Texas, but it did rain very badly in other parts of Texas. So that was not fun for a lot of people. Yeah, but we watched a lot of fun movies, and I just want to run down this list because I think this is a great, we just watched like what we had time for, and like we didn't finish watching every single one of these, but we watched Pacific Rim, Independence Day, Idiocracy, and Armageddon, which felt like a really good combo this year.
That's an interesting, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Right. It's like America, but with a twist. But that was a lot of fun over at my friend Erica's house. I've also been catching up on Poker Face Season 2. I finished it just recently.
Yeah.
And I know Andrew has been watching it as well.
I loved... left.
Oh, great. Yeah. I loved Season 1. I think Season 2 is pretty much just as good. There's like only a couple episodes that I like a little bit less, but I think like overall, like I really like this season. The guest actors they got this season are like just like way bigger than you think you could get. Like the first episode has Cynthia Erivo, which is just awesome, and like that's one of my favorite episodes. She gets to play like
5 characters.
Yeah, I was like sextuplets. I was like, they make a big deal about this in the episode, right. Didn't they? But 5 different characters, and it's very, very funny. I really really enjoyed this season. I think it kind of keeps up the same like level as they had in the first season. So if you liked season 1, definitely go check out season 2. I had like accidentally like waited a while to watch this. I don't have any like specific reason, but I don't want everyone else to be sleeping on it. This is a show where they kind of set it up that it could keep going much longer, but like, and I've heard a lot more people are watching this season than season 1, or are catching up on season 1 and watching season 2. So I think that's good. I hope this show goes on for a little longer. I think it's really fun. Yeah, I know that you don't really feel exactly the same though.
Well, no, it's not that. That wasn't at all. We had questions because they do a weird thing where season 1 is one story.
I think you can say this because it doesn't really like ruin the premise of the show.
I'm not gonna. I'm only gonna say. I'm gonna say high level. Okay. This is more for Patrick's sake, so that he understands kind of what we're talking about. The first season is a complete story arc, and it ends off with a spoiler, with a cliffhanger. Season 2 picks up where that cliffhanger ends, and the first 3 episodes are part of that same story arc. But then that concludes, and then it's like season 2.1 starts, where it becomes more anthological. And each
I totally
episode,
agree with that. Yeah, like it does have like a shift.
They're not. There is a very vague tie between them, very vague, with one character that kind of wiggles, kind of by audio only. Ties the rest of the episodes together, but it's like it almost feels like season 1 is the full season 1 plus the first 3 episodes of season 2, and then season 2 starts, which is a different style of
I think though, in the like longevity of the show, it's a good choice to have ditched that season 1 arc. Like they needed to end it to keep it like a little bit of a smoother show overall. So like I think they handled that well. It's a good way to pass it off. It doesn't feel like that's maybe gone forever. Like some of those characters could come back. Like just pop up randomly 3 seasons later. Like I think this is the kind of show where that could happen.
But it just felt it was a little jarring because I was like,
yeah,
wait,
sure.
Was season 2 only 3 episodes long? Because it concluded like a season would conclude. Like it put a end to like a bookend to the story. So
and I will say, I do feel also like they probably conceived of season 1 as this more like full story idea. Maybe even had that ending written in partway, and then like once they knew it was going to continue, pivoted a little bit. And like
pivot,
I think it made more sense though to keep it going so that season 1 had a cooler cliffhanger, and then this like could end in a good way, and then they keep continuing the show. And I will say the last episode, like last 2 episodes, kind of tie into like what will probably be the bigger story in the next season. So it's not that they're ditching that idea entirely, I will say.
Okay, all right.
But some really great episodes. I think you've seen my favorite one, the one with the magician kid. That one was so funny.
That was the last one that I saw.
Yeah, really good one. I think you have a few more episodes then.
Oh, I thought that the last one was called Okay, maybe the title was just a little misleading because it was called The Last Show, I think, or something like the episode was called like The Last Show. So I thought that was the finale.
I think there's a few
yeah,
more.
that one was
so
that
great.
one was it was visceral, and that
the beginning really threw me off.
Makes you scared
like,
of little kids.
Yes. Maybe the like greatest villain the show's ever had.
yeah, it's pretty good.
Really, really fun episode. So definitely recommend Poker Face season 2. And if you haven't watched it, season 1 is right there on Peacock for you. Other than that, one of my friends just released their first album. One of my friends from roller derby is in a band called the Midnight Papers, and I went to their album release show and physically bought a real record that they made and everything. Whoa. It's very cool. You can listen to their music on Spotify and stuff. They're going on tour next week. They'll be in Dallas, which is closer to you, Andrew, and a few other places in the southern United States. I definitely recommend checking them out. Kind of the intro music we had today is a lot like their style. It's like kind of rock or punk. It's just a 2-person band. My friend Tiffany is the like singer and lead guitarist, and then her friend Tim is the drummer, and they're very good. So I just wanted to share that. Now you can listen to their music on Spotify and everything. And the concert was really great. So check them out if you can.
Okay.
I've also
Do you have to have a record player to listen to their vinyl?
Yes, they do have CDs, and you can just listen to it digitally. So you have lots of options.
People still make CDs?
They did because it's their first album, so they wanted to have like physical copies to like have, which I totally understand that.
Sure.
I mean, there's still like that whole section at like Barnes and Noble. There's like still CDs there.
Well, there was a big backlash about this this past week. Let me tell you who it was for. It was for the latest Lorde album. So for Virgin, Lorde released a transparent CD, but the problem is it's just a clear disc, and so not all CD players will read it or like accept it. So people would try to put it in their car, and the car won't pull it in and do anything with it. So it looks like a CD, but it's
funny.
like useless. So that was
a fake
controversy
CD.
from literally just this past week was Lorde's transparent CDs. So yes, people still make CDs.
Poorly.
I mean, but it's like, isn't it just as vintage as when people started wanting records and record players? Isn't it? And I get not all media's collectible records. It's this idea of this audiophile and high quality, and we're not all running trying to revive mini discs again, but it is true that in terms of people collecting records, I kind of feel like CDs are that similar path.
Yeah.
I feel like
Only by
CDs are
Apex.
like less cool than records. Like I know far fewer people who still have CDs compared to records.
In 10 years, they'll be the same level of coolness.
I'm sure someone has done this, but what I always wanted to do,
Found my parents' CDs in a binder in the back of the closet.
I loved 8-track players. One of my parents' vehicles had they had like a old conversion van that had a built-in 8-track player. And if you've ever used an 8-track, it's fairly large. It like slides in, and this one had these like big silver knobs that looked super sweet. But what I wanted to do is it's roughly, I think they're maybe the size of a little bit larger than an iPhone. So what I wanted to do is just have a iPhone dock that looked like an 8-track player, and you put a case around your iPad or iPhone that makes it look like an 8-track, so you could just like dock it into the player and then play. It would be so cumbersome, so useless. You could never put your phone in your pocket, but I love that, and that's what I want.
You can
You just 3D print it.
Yeah, I was gonna say you could 3D print this. Yeah.
Trivial to do, but I'll just think about it forever.
That's good. And that's how millionaires make their money.
Yeah.
I have this really great idea. I'm not going to tell you about it.
Well, that's not a great idea.
About it.
It's not a great idea, but I also don't have access to a 3D printer. See if you can get your buddy to do it.
I got several.
He'll do it for free.
Yeah, a lot of people at my work have them.
Yeah.
But very cool. So yeah, check out the Midnight Papers. You can buy a real CD or a record or just listen online. So other than that, I've become totally obsessed with this movie on Netflix called K-Pop Demon Hunters. I already posted about it in our Slack and I talked about it in chat just a second ago. Man, this movie is so much freaking fun. I have already watched it 3 times. I've listened to the soundtrack a lot because the music is so good. The kind of main songs from each of the fictional bands in the movie have already hit like the top of the charts to like beat any actual K-pop band that ever existed. The soundtrack's at like the top soundtrack. Like, I'm not the only one that is enjoying this movie. It is extremely popular right now. It's been like number 1, 2, 3 on Netflix pretty much since it came out.
It has all 3 slots? How long is this movie?
Yeah.
No, I mean like moving between those top slots. Sorry. It's very short. It's only 90 minutes, which is great. But cannot recommend this movie more. It's absolutely one of my favorite movies I've seen this year and one of the most like fun, best musicals I've ever seen. Like I said, the music is really cool. Like, I can't stop listening to it. You want to dance to it. Like, it's kind of taken over TikTok because people are doing all the like copying all the dance moves from the movie. The like dance choreography is very cool. Like, the animation is done by the same company that did Into the Spider-Verse. So it kind of has like a lot of that kind of DNA, and like the fights are so cool. They do a lot of that like hand-drawn emphasis stuff that like makes it look very comic booky and fun. The like fight choreography is just as cool as the dancing choreography. It all kind of feels sort of like a giant music video, and like I love it. The character designs are super cool. The story is very funny. It's touching. It's smart. It's cool. Like, it really feels like an early Pixar movie where like this is not dumbed down in any way to make it a kids movie. It's just a really excellent movie that anyone can watch. It's really good. The like premise of this movie is that there's like a world famous K-pop girl group that like balance being super famous and then kind of superhero secret identities, fighting demons to like keep them out of the world. Like, the devotion that their fans like give them powers the like barrier between like human world and demon world, and then the demon world to like get back at them creates a demon boy band, and the movie is like them kind of at war with each other. It is so much fun. It's really cool. I love everything about this movie. It's so much fun. It's so cool. Like, I've just been like watching like all this behind the scenes stuff since I watched it too. Like, it's just really cool. Yeah, I think like anybody who's into animation would just dig this movie because the style is so like fun and cool. And I just don't know how you would listen to it and not want to like listen to the music again or like just like get into this, because man, it is really fun. So that I cannot recommend this more. Like,
but you're
you have
also
to check
a
this out.
person. It's also important to just recognize for anyone who's listening and maybe is newer to the show, Lauren is an all-in person.
Yeah, well,
it is possible to maybe watch something once, but you just told us you've watched this 3 times and have listened, and this thing is brand new. So
it's so
Lauren
good.
is an all-in person. So
it's, I mean, I'm not with everything. Like, this has really like hooked me in a way that like I don't think like other things have
is it
in a
because
while.
there's a cat as a main character? Be honest.
I do like that cat a lot. I'm probably going to make a costume of it for Dragon Con.
Everyone
No, I
I
think
work
it's
with
honestly
is
like
raving
the
about it.
music is kind of the thing that I like the most about it. Like, I think it's so catchy and fun. It's a lot like, I think it's just like a good story. It's like Spider-Verse. Like if you think like, it's kind of catches you off guard of like what about it is so like connects to you, but I think it like has a lot to say and it's really good.
Okay. I still think that because of your love of cats, you would absolutely love Dungeon Crawler Carl.
I keep trying to buy it. It's just never in the store when I go. So
What store are you going to? Just go to
Barnes and Noble. Yeah, I have gone.
Got them? They've got them.
They do not have it. Every time I've gone there, they don't have it.
Just start with book 2 then, and then backtrack.
That's ridiculous. No. But yeah, I just think it's really cool. Definitely check this movie out. I think like 90% of the people who listen to our show would like this movie. It is a lot of fun. Just give it a chance. It's very short. You will like it.
Okay. I mean, I will definitely watch it.
Yeah.
It does not, like, I've seen it pop up, obviously, on my thread and things. No one that I'm talking to has seen it, and no one's talking about it that I'm in circles with right now. But just seeing this stuff, I'm like, oh, that's not going to be my vibe. I'm not huge into anime. But this, I will watch it because you said it's only 90 minutes.
It's more like Western blend anime thing. It's like the thing that Teen Titans does where, like, yes, there's 100% an anime influence, but it's not.
Okay, all right. I like the guy in the hat, so I think we're
the bad guys.
I'm hooked. The guy with the Amish, the pilgrim hats. Yeah, I'm
yeah.
Evil pilgrims.
It's like I honestly like could talk about this movie forever because I've like gone so deep down the rabbit hole. Like they're all like traditional Korean outfits. Like it's very, very, very cool. Like all the layers that they put into this movie, and a lot of it isn't just said out loud. They just kind of do it, and then like you can find out about it or not afterwards. But man, love this movie so much.
Okay,
Definitely think y'all need to watch it. So I guess we're ready for master categories.
Okay, well if that's it, then yeah, we will head on over into our master categories. Master categories. What do we say when we do this? We say, "Hey, it's time for master categories." Is that how we say that?
Yeah, I think we've got it.
Oh, okay.
I am excited. I just wanted to reiterate, I'm actually excited I am intending to watch Demon Hunters.
I'm excited.
K-pop Demon Hunters.
I know you don't love animation, but if you don't want to watch it, listen to the music.
Everyone keeps talking about it.
See, I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
I'm also in a very different season of life at the moment. These last 3 weeks have been, or 4 weeks really, have been kind of, I have been in a bubble.
Oh yeah,
for
totally
sure.
understand.
So,
Makes
pretty
sense.
much everywhere online, it was like this is like trending audio, like it's
I'm
everywhere
experiencing
that I'm
everything
looking.
for the first time. Yeah, I had no idea what to expect. Some of the people who are listening to this have said some of that stuff to me, so I hope you are all reading between the lines and know that I'm talking about you. I'm totally okay with it. That's where I'm at in my brain at this point. Okay, every week we roll the dice to find out what we're talking about. Nope, we don't do that every week. The master category section, each episode is when we talk about the dice we rolled. In the last episode, those dice give us our categories. We pick our topics based on those categories. And Patrick, I'm excited to hear about this thing about killing games.
Close. Stop killing games. So, which is kind of the opposite of what you said. So, Stop Killing Games is an initiative, and this is an initiative to define what a person's level of ownership with a game is, and also press that it get codified properly into law, and potentially allow games to remain in a playable state even after the publisher stops trying to actively market, make money off them, etc. So if we look at other types of media that exists, say a book, for instance, we're talking about Dungeon Crawler Carl. Yeah. Let's say you do buy that book from Barnes & Noble and you take it home, and then someday Matt Denneman decides that, oh, I don't want to market this book anymore, so I need everyone to destroy their copies of their books. It is in essence like that. Now, it's obviously one thing if you're using a service that is in essence like a rental or a licensing service. So, of course, if you're using Audible and you pay monthly to that service, then the access you have will come or go. But if you buy a piece of physical media, there is this expectation that physical media is something that you retain. And we would have that expectation with DVDs or whatever the new stuff is, Blu-ray, mini disc, 8-track.
Format that's just now starting to catch on.
We would have that expectation if we weren't using Spotify, but we were actually buying like CDs, for instance. We would have the expectation we continue to have that. Games are kind of the exception because you can go buy a physical media game, but if it is connected to an online service and that online service gets terminated, it's possible that that game is fully unplayable even though you bought the physical media. So again, this is an ownership piece in terms of what is that we should define it. And I will say in the US, I think it's been fairly decided that it's just a licensing relationship. That is not the case in like the EU, for instance. So a lot of this initiative is specifically focused on the EU. And it should be noted that regulations in other countries can still affect the way things function here for us. I mean, ultimately, even though we don't live under GDPR, and these are regulations about personal privacy, the fact is, in many ways, we've reaped positive benefits of GDPR legislation in the EU because people will choose to normalize the experience instead of maintaining two separate experiences. So anyway, so that's one piece. One piece is, do you own it? The next piece is archive. So is there a rich history of games we can go back to? And increasingly, it feels like that developers will just choose to hobble a service or kill a game in order to force users off of it and into something else instead of allowing it to continue. So is there an archive of this that exists? And then the other piece is just the playability if you did purchase something. Now, a couple of key pieces about Stop Killing Games is that there's a few things. One is that it's intentionally vague in its language with its current petition that exists. And we'll talk about the petition in a second. And the reason it's vague is because ultimately this is something that needs to be discussed and decided by a legal body. And so the kind of big bullet points are the ones I've already outlined. And a lot of the mechanics or nitty gritty, those have not been decided. The second piece to this is that it applies to all types of games, so there's no distinction between multiplayer, single player, etc. And then the third piece of this is that it only applies to games post like marketing and kind of active development by the publisher. So none of what they're describing would affect a publisher today per se. I mean, I'll throw out the exception in a second. It would only affect it once publisher decides we're moving on from this, we're sunsetting this, we're not going to support this anymore, we're not going to market or whatever anymore. Now,
like a Dr. Mario.
Now, the caveat, Dr. Mario is a great example for me of a game that could have still existed to a degree. Now, the caveat to this is that this does mean that publishers would have to build games in such a way that they can patch them for end of life, because not all games are meant to just run locally on a device. Some games do rely running on connected servers. Some games do rely, even their gameplay requires that. So it would require publishers in that case to create games in such a way that they have already accounted for end-of-life patches, and they would have to deploy end-of-life patches in order to allow the game to function in a reasonable capacity, which again has not been defined because all of this is very vague. And certainly this task is going to be harder for some types of games than for other types of games. And it'll be interesting to know as this moves forward, if this does enter serious discussion, how these limits and reasonable playability and all this type of stuff is defined. But Stop Killing Games does not expect a publisher, once they've patched for end of life, to provide any other support beyond that. And so the last piece of this is the petition. So in the EU, if a petition reaches over 1 million signatures from EU residents, then assuming that they vet the signatures and they aren't like fraudulent in some way, then they do ultimately have to discuss what was put in front of them. And I think we have some similar things as well. But and so they've been pushing to get 1 million signatures on Stop Killing Games. It hasn't been all sunshine and rainbows. And some prominent people have spoken out against this initiative. One of those recently was Pirate Software, who also goes by Thor, who found himself in another of a series of dramas because of his outspoken doubling down against and spreading some loose truths or untruths about the initiative.
Some loose.
That said,
truths.
ironically, him pressing against the initiative and the way he handled that, which was you can find lots of videos describing that situation, seems to have magnified this cause. This cause was sitting at something like 600,000 signatures, and his response to it blew up. His negative response blew up, and now it's something like 6 days later, it's sitting at 1.3 million signatures.
That's a handful
Wow.
more. That,
It's a
that more
handful
than
more.
Well,
doubled.
it got million.
Yes, it did more than double, 700,000 in this case. But the point is, it is past the million threshold. Assuming these are not, none of these are fraudulent, it seems it will get heard and it will get debated. And so this outburst from Pirate Software may be what ends up saving an initiative that was maybe not going to get over the finish line, which is fairly wild. I will throw out one more piece of just, if you decide to follow up on the story, a juicy tidbit. Pirate Software was a creative director over at Off-Brand Games. He's been a creative director there, I think, since October of last year. And a couple days ago, in the wake of all this controversy, stepped down from that role. So it has been, there is a lot of controversy on that side, if you're interested. That said, this Thor is, well, if you want to learn about him, go learn about him, because I won't talk about him anymore. Stop killing games. That's the point. That's the initiative. That's the goal of the initiative. And now we just wait to see if it actually gets any type of legal backing or traction.
Action.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and I had front page this week. That's front page.
Yeah.
That's the
that's very good.
nicest section of the front page I could find.
Yeah.
Because
you really probably had to
else
dig for it.
It is. Yeah. It is a
makes me sad.
hot garbage fire. Yeah.
Hot garbage fire. But on that note, I will now pass it over to Lauren.
Me.
I know
All
when I
right,
think of hot garbage fires.
Aw.
Oh, your whole face transformed.
Yeah.
You're like me. Oh
No. Okay.
No.
So I got Future TV for a second time in a row. And so I wanted to talk about Stranger Things season 5, which is finally coming out later this year. It will be coming out in 3 sections. The first part will be come out November 26th, and you'll get 4 episodes. Part 2 will come out on Christmas, December 25th, 3 episodes, and the finale will come out December 31st, New Year's Eve, with just the last episode. Do we need to I could take a complete segue here and just rant about how dumb it is that I think it takes 3+ years to get a show back that was coming out yearly, and it's less episodes, but that might be a rant for another time.
But aren't the episodes twice as long? I think they're mega episodes.
They are very, very long.
2.5 hours or something.
That's
garbage
true.
like that.
So maybe we'll give them a little bit of
We're
a
basically
break,
we're basically getting 9 films
yeah.
as the final season.
That's interesting to think about, because it's I guess they're we're throwing everything that we got into this last season, and there will be nothing left on this table. You're going to eat it all and you're going to like it. I don't know that I have that.
Eat it all.
When I was thinking about what to talk about with this, I was let's make some predictions. And I really couldn't remember that many loose ends where I'm what am I really wondering about that's going to fill 9 hour-and-a-half episodes?
That's what you're wondering about. How in
yeah.
the world are they going to fill 9 episodes? That's the mystery.
Yeah. Well, here's the
gonna be
official.
so slow.
I will give you the fairly lengthy official synopsis that Netflix put out for season 5. So it's the fall of 1987. Hawkins is scared by the opening of rifts, and our heroes, united by a single goal, find and kill Vecna. But he has vanished. His whereabouts and plans unknown, complicating their mission. The government has placed their own. Placed the town under military quarantine and intensified its hunt for 11, forcing them back into hiding. As the anniversary of Will's disappearance approaches, so does the heavy, familiar dread. The final battle is looming, and with it, a darkness more powerful and more deadly than anything they've faced before. To end this nightmare, they'll need everyone, the full party, standing together one last time.
And also, Bob is back.
One of my prediction questions is, will we see any of the victim characters that
We're getting Barb
died,
and Bob back.
Yeah, Barb
We're
and
getting them both
Bobby
back.
or Billy. I mean, Chrissy. There's a lot of characters that were fan favorites that died that I could see coming back as a cameo. Or zombies in the Upside Down, or even like mind flayer enforced fake, like memories or visions or
thought
whatever.
What if it's just easier this time? What if like it's not that many, and like it's just not that hard this time, and like they kind of like it's kind of like
they literally just hang out and play D&D, and it becomes like an actual play show instead of Stranger Things.
What's the horror comedy with like the two lumberjack looking guys?
Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Yeah, like they
Great
kind of
movie.
like and then like accidentally kill Vecna. What if we got
That's
that?
like the two new characters that are going to be played by some cameo of someone great in the 80s, and like
I thought that we killed Vecna. I thought we killed Vecna in that last one. Didn't Vecna die?
I don't think they died. I think they like beat him back to the upside down and like closed the door, and
I
that's
guess
what I
here's my
think I
thing.
remember. I don't remember him being dead. I think they like beat him. But
I think
you know
what you're hearing from me is that enough time has passed that I don't care what happens to them now.
I think that's also that this is like the problem that I have with shows like this, where like the third season really was like, or sorry, fourth season was, and third season actually was a ton of like lore that added onto the show that like I never found that interesting, and now I'm like, I'm not gonna rewatch this. Like I'm just gonna go. Like
I was a kid when this thing started, so the whole world was ahead of me, and now I'm an adult, and it's like the real world has hit.
Wait, how long ago did the first season come out?
It was 1982.
it was. Let me look. I have to look that up. I don't know when the first season.
It is true that the other seasons, maybe not so much the last one, but the other seasons, we wanted to plan watch parties and get together.
2016.
2016. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was
a long time ago. I just feel like this show used to hold like so much more power, and the fact that they waited this long really like diluted it so much. Because like the fourth season even had like an ending that people were so excited about. Like I dressed up as Eddie Munson, so did everybody at Dragon Con that year. Like there were so many like Stranger Things jokes going on. Like it was such a vibe, and then like they waited this long, and now I don't think anyone really cares. Like
They
it's
have
like
to get the flywheel going again, and honestly, like. Well, that's tricky. It's going to be tricky to get people to get hyped about this the way they want people to be hyped about it.
Yeah, and it's not that I don't care. Like I will watch it, but I'm not planning a watch party for this the way I did previous seasons,
Right, but I think we're not just burned by the show, we're burned by Netflix itself. We don't have the expectation that Netflix itself holds a high standard to the quality that it produces. And that has also, like, my opinion, if I think over the last 9 years of something that Netflix is releasing, has just steadily decreased.
Yeah.
So with this season coming out, number one, it's been a long time, and number two, I just assume it's bloated. They're going to try to do too much. It's going to be overly drawn out, and that
which is kind of the flaws it had with the last two seasons, also. So like all these signs point to
they're not tracking up and to the right currently. Yeah,
the ball is not rolling up.
It's hard because like I think all of us on this call, even if we feel the way that we feel and we're saying it and this is how we feel, we're gonna watch it.
Yeah,
so we're
and I'm gonna be excited to talk about it. And I still have questions I'll get to.
The last time we talked about this, right?
3 years ago, probably. Like
when we recorded in person at our last house.
There's photographic evidence of that.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't think we released that episode though.
No, not that episode.
No, not that one. Okay. We did another episode.
We immediately knew what you were talking about. This was a different one. Will was there.
Oh, yes. Okay, I know what you're talking about.
And we were arguing about whether or not it was the finale or there was going to be how many more seasons or whatever.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. But back then, it's I really wish I was as excited because, I do care. I like all these characters. It's a fun show. It's been great for a long time. I'm definitely glad this is going to be the last season. It just feels like the right time.
It's okay to let things go.
I did see that there's some Stranger Things universe things in the works when I was looking stuff up for this. They have an off-Broadway play right now.
They need nostalgia
The
too
First
much.
Shadow. I'm not kidding. And
no, I've seen advertisements for it. It's about the origins of
the
Stranger Things.
The not Vecna guy before he was Vecna or whatever.
The Demigorgon.
Yes. Creel. Whatever.
1920s.
Yeah, Henry Creel.
Detective noir. That's the next Stranger Things we need.
I would watch that. I think that they've clearly invented a lot of lore and this universe basically. I don't think that they need to just ignore it. But they did say that they're done with like these characters. Like there will not be any like an 11 side story or a Dustin side story or anything. Like it's going to be
she's
like
not 11
this is the
anymore.
end. No, she's not.
like 43 now.
Millie Bobby Brown Bon Jovi, my favorite name. But yeah, there is a bit of a time jump. I saw they're going to be at least a year, but that doesn't seem significant enough for the amount
That's
of
not
aging
enough.
that we know that has happened.
not enough.
But they've been done filming this for years. They've literally been like, I guess, adding special effects and stuff. So it's very confusing what's taking so long.
He's better. Who's that?
Mike.
That's Will.
Oh, that was Vecna. You sounded just like
No,
there's
I
a
feel
dead
like
ringer
it's
for
definitely
Vecna.
one of the kids.
There's very few things they could have done to this show to make it worth what they're trying to make us feel like it's worth.
Yeah, I'm still just like I'm gonna watch it. I just don't think I have like that like fever like I
Do you
did
know who
before.
the
And I would
winners
love
are?
to get sucked back in and be proven wrong. That would be great. I would love this to be awesome.
But yeah, and that's just true always.
Yeah.
If you were an 80s, if you were not 80s, if you were an eBay seller of 80s merchandise and paraphernalia, this show has been good to you. And I'm
Oh,
sorry
yeah.
for everyone who's having the rug of their livelihood
Quite honestly,
pulled out
even
from
just
under them.
D&D people like owe a lot to this show.
Yeah. Sorry.
We got a lot of good stuff from it. I mean, I made like 2 costumes from the show. I love Stranger Things. It's great. But yeah. So do you want to go for some predictions for season 5 just for fun? Just
Sure,
some
go.
They
questions?
close the rift. At the
Yes.
end of it, Will looks to the camera, and one of
Yeah.
his eyes turns into a wolf eye, and then he winks, and then you hear.
Oh, that's
going
going to be that's the very end. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Vecna doesn't die. You think he's dead?
Just
But
so
like,
we're, just so we're clear, you are referencing Thriller, right?
absolutely. there's gonna be not a Thriller. There's
Yeah.
gonna be the big rift is gonna close, and something is going to survive at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whether it pans back and you see like a single white, like ashy looking thing like float up in the air, it's kind of the reverse
Well,
of the
to me,
leaf
it
from
doesn't seem
Forrest
like
Gump.
even like killing
Something's gonna
Vecna would
survive.
necessarily destroy the Upside Down. Like those things don't seem totally like 1-to-1 to me. Like it's not just made for him. Like other things live there.
If the whole town goes into the upside down, now it's kind of like the right side up.
And that's why they call it the Upside
They just
Down.
meet in the middle.
If you build a house in
It's
the
the
woods,
slightly tilted.
you're no longer lost. You live there. That's what we're saying.
You could still be lost, but you're just lost in a city in the woods.
Can't be lost if you live there.
Okay. All right. So one of the very like popular theories from the end of last season is that Eddie will come back as a vampire.
Yes.
What are your guys' thoughts on that one?
100%. I think that's not even
Yeah.
a question. I think that's happening.
I don't think that was their idea or intention originally, but they liked that idea after people pointed it out, and that's why that's going to happen.
It's for sure going to happen. Like, that's
Yeah.
not even a
Is
question.
this how you get Eddie Munster?
Yes,
Eddie's
in fact.
Monster.
Oh, Eddie Monster. Never mind.
Yeah, that's happening. So next,
Do you think any of the main characters will die before the end of the season?
I think Dustin's girlfriend dies.
I think Will
No.
or 11, one of the two of them.
I would vote yes to 11, no to Dustin's girlfriend.
I think Dustin's girlfriend dies because I don't think they're gonna kill mainstream characters.
Dad's
I
gonna
could
die.
see. I feel
for
like
sure.
one of them might die. Like I don't think that it's off the table that one.
The
of them.
older brother will die.
Steve.
Steve will die 100%. He's the protector.
Steve is the most likely to die.
Steve
I
will
would say it's
sacrifice
also the
himself.
saddest for him
Protector
to
to
die.
the
Yeah.
end.
Steve will sacrifice himself for Dustin.
That's
and
also,
his
but that's what
girlfriend.
Eddie
That's
did.
what'll
So
happen.
Steve would just be a copycat.
That's fine.
Steve
but
don't care.
We're not saying that the writing is going to be good. We're just saying what we think is going to happen.
I'm just saying if you're asking who, not just who will die, I think several people will, but who is the
Yeah.
most mainstream character that will die, my money is on Steve.
yeah.
I'm gonna say Steve, Will, maybe Hopper.
I think Hopper's dead. Yeah, I think Hopper's dead.
Yeah, they've done so many fake out deaths for him. I'm like, the 9 lives are up, baby. Can't keep going like
And
this
if
forever.
they don't do it, then I'm going to have the same feeling that I had with Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which is there are no stakes.
Yes.
Kill someone, please.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it seemed like there were
They-
stakes because they were scared to do anything.
That one really felt like that one. So I would, and this is the end of the series. Like, I don't feel like they need to be as precious. That's why I'm like, I could see one of the main characters dying. I don't think it's going to be like all 4 of the main kids are dead and that's the ending. Like, hell no. But
I went to a vegan restaurant this weekend and I was like, Mackenzie, there are no steaks.
There's not enough steaks for this restaurant.
that was my
You know how I
favorite
feel
joke of the
about this?
episodes by
This
far.
restaurant and Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
No steaks.
Okay, my last question. One of the very fun tidbits is the kind of cameo casting that they've announced for this season, which is Linda Hamilton from Terminator is going to be in this. She's going to play Dr. K. That's kind of like the only thing known about her. Will she or will she not do a chin up?
I don't get that reference.
Oh, fuck, you haven't seen Terminator 2?
That's aggressive. I've seen it, but I don't know enough. I don't know. I've seen it, but I was probably
That's like so memorable. Sorry.
20 years ago, maybe, that I watched that movie. I don't know.
There's also like, I quote that line from Hunt from the Wilder People all the time where it's like,
I hope she does, but I hope she uses the like assistance bands to do it.
no, she can still do it.
That's funny.
I do think that's like a very fun, like perfect, like era casting.
The answer is yes.
Yeah.
The answer is yes.
I want it.
they're
I
gonna
want that
pack
fan service.
every ounce of nostalgia. My feeling is they will find that we can just shoot this solution. When was the water gun invented? What year? Is this 80s?
Yeah, I'm
Super
sure
Soaker?
the water gun came
Super
out.
Soaker.
Yeah.
Because if so, they'll
It's gonna be
determine
like the
we can
toy of
shoot
the
this
season,
solution
yeah.
at it, and there'll be a scene where they're all like Avengers style lined up with Super Soakers.
Wearing
I can
their
actually
brand
see
new
that happening. Yeah.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle T-shirts. And
They're gonna have the kind
That's
that have
what
the like
this is.
tank backpack thing.
Yeah,
so they
exactly.
have like lots of this super serum stuff.
Yeah.
It's an unserious show, but I'll watch it.
Yeah, I am. I know we were talking a lot of shit, but I'm
I'll make an
excited, and I
exception
will
to the
watch every
otherwise
episode.
fully serious shows that I watch to watch this nonsensical show.
Hey, I'm coming off Poop Cruise. I have high standards.
That's a good sentence.
Yeah.
Coming off Poop Cruise.
Coming off the poop cruise. All right, that is it for me this week. Andrew, it's your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna share some. It's a perfect segue because I'm actually gonna be talking about an RPG. So I got
fun.
toys and games, and this I got Present RPG, and so this is presently on Kickstarter for the next 7 days, 8 days, something like that. I'm gonna share it. I'm gonna share the link here for you guys to click on, Patrick. Or maybe I'll just pull it up here and
For
share
you
the-
to click on.
for you to click on.
Too late, I've clicked on it.
Let me just
Oh
do
no,
this.
I clicked.
The Land of Eam.
I like this.
I was gonna.
Now
build
I
up
feel like
to
I
what the
kinda
title
stole
was,
that from
but
you.
That's okay. It's all right.
I may have mispronounced it, so
No,
you
that's
still
you,
can.
you got it. Welcome to the Land of Eam, a whimsical role-playing game of exploration, discovery, and creativity. So this game is not out yet, but it has 200. It has 5 award nominations already for the Ennies. I don't even know what the Ennies are. Maybe they're just. some
Oh, I
background.
do.
Okay.
Anyone
They're
gets
like
nominated.
the Ennies are like the Oscars
Anything can
for
get nominated.
RPG awards. Andrew Kolb was nominated for one last year.
Oh, this is that. Okay, great.
Yes.
This beat him out. No, I'm just kidding. So this is a role-playing world that is intended for a bit easier entry. So we talk about Dungeons and Dragons a lot on this show, and you may be sitting listening to this going, "Oh, I'm going to tune out again if they talk about Dungeons and Dragons," because
Well,
Dungeons and
guess
Dragons can have a bit of a stigma in terms of it's not true, but it can have a stigma tied to it of it being like ultra serious. You have to be like a super serious gamer to get involved in it. And
I feel like if you've ever played
rules-
D&D though, it's instantly digresses into like poop jokes within
But
minutes.
my point is the barrier of entry seems high, right? So
Yes, sure.
because you're rolling dice and you're having to
There's
do math and you have to develop a character and you have to do all this stuff, right? And you have to do a lot of the work, whereas like a typical board game will do the work for you. Basically, you just follow the rules. The Land of Eam is basically an entry into this world of RPG, and it's a land or a what's it called? Setting. It's a setting that is like magical and mythical, and
This is so
somebody
cute.
describes it. There was a great. They often say that Land of Eam is like the Muppets meets Lord of the Rings. And so
Yeah.
that gives you an idea of where of how they kind of position this. It's very colorful,
like
very
it.
whimsical, very fun looking lore, and I think this is right up your alley for sure.
Yeah, those are two things I like a lot.
Yeah. But it's an entryway into it. So the Land of Eam is a setting. Now, the Kickstarter, you can get, there's quite a few options that you can get in terms of what you can back on this. You can get like just the setting, and if you are a DM or you're a game master, you can create your own world. However, there is also, in addition to the world at large, they have a second thing that they are calling the. I want to get this right. Hang on, I gotta scroll down. There's a lot that comes with this. A second thing is called Land of Eam Dungeoneer Adventures. Dungeoneer Adventures are taking it one step further in the accessibility, and they are giving you 16, I think, or 12 to 16 preset adventures. Think of like
Modules, sort of.
Yeah, think of it like with Dungeons and Dragons when you buy like the starter kit, where you get like a short story that has a beginning and end, and it has pre-designed character sheets, so you can get these characters that are designed to live very functionally together in this world, and it comes with special custom die. And it comes with a bunch of colorful maps and things like that. And then cards to show the items and the details of the items, and cards to show the enemies that you encounter. So it really brings it one step closer to people, so it can make it a lot more plug and play, a lot more attainable, a lot more manageable. In fact, one of the groups that they're marketing to is not just for parents to teach their kids, but they also are marketing this for teachers. They have a teachers set that helps teachers use these characters in school settings to help teach either different lessons or to just run them through like the creative modules. One of the things that they have inside of this, Lauren, which I think you'll really like, is it is the, where is it? I want to make sure I'm using the right language. It is called the, oh gosh, the Dungeoneer Academy Sandbox. And this is it's an 80-page document with, this itself has 16 ready-to-play adventures, and there are 12 academy courses that you can take as your character to learn things like alchemy, mazes and monsters, swords and sorcery. And then there are NPC professors and students that you get to interact with as well.
That's so cute.
They have
what a fun way to like learn how to be a DM.
Exactly. Like it's such a fun world that they've created. So it's a great way to get introduced to this world, to introduce maybe even your kids into this world in a way that's playful, very, very fun and colorful. The illustrations are super cute too.
Yeah, I love like the style of this.
They're like
it's really cool.
They don't take themselves too seriously, but at the same time, they're not super wacky. They're not like completely over the top, but they're also not like super realistic like you would see in Wizards of the Coast, Dungeons and Dragons book.
Yeah.
They feel kind of akin to maybe the cross between the styles of Adventure Time meets Cat Dog. Like
big, I see Adventure Time big time, like for sure.
Now
I'm trying to put my finger on what else it reminds me of though.
There's a game that I played or that I have called Vast that I've talked about on the podcast before. I don't remember the artist who did Vast, but it looks a lot like that. It also looks a lot like Dungeons, Dice, and Danger. The illustrations also look like that. So, but it's an introduction into like kind of the dungeon crawler RPG world, but does it in such a way that feels really unique and accessible. And based on what you want, like there's a bunch of different tiers that you can back for this Kickstarter. You can kind of jump in wherever you want. The one where you get everything, like the Land of Eam Mega Bundle, which comes with so many books and colorful double-sided maps and custom die and actual like meeples, like printed meeples, and the character sheets and the cards and all, like the big deal is $250 for everything. But you could host games, you could lead games in this world for years with that. But if you wanted to start even as simple as just getting the rule book, right? Like the world, the setting book, you can get a PDF of it for $20. And so if you
How
already
reasonable.
What?
How reasonable.
It is, right? So like if you don't need the physical pieces to kind of engage in the world of role play, like Dungeons and Dragons typically is, all these things, you can get the setting for this deal as a PDF for $20. And so I'd love to play in this world. Now, again,
I'm always so tempted to buy stuff like this, but then I'm like, who will I ever run this with? Or like, who would run it?
Well, Lauren, you play Dungeons and Dragons 3 nights a week. So I think of all of us, you're the one who would most likely benefit from this, if I'm just being completely honest.
I have a new setting book that like ordered off Kickstarter that should be here soon. So I'll probably have it by next episode to talk about.
I just think I would love to play this. I would love Andrew Kolb, because you're listening, or Will, because you're listening. Please pick this up so that we can play in it.
Yeah.
This is so not Will's thing. Writes his own stuff, and it's like, okay, we'll play in his.
This is the exact opposite of the type of D&D game that Will likes to run, though.
I know it is, but Will, just be a friend to everybody. We don't all, just be cool to all of us. Or Patrick,
I feel like Will is the most deadly dungeon
this
master
and you
I've
run
played
this
with.
game because I know you're capable of running games.
So I was talking to someone about this recently, and looking
Jonathan
through,
would be good at this one.
Looking through some of the systems that are available to people that want to teach D&D to kids, a lot of it still leans so heavily on like the scary monsters, which doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
And it's not to say there aren't other things, but I just don't think they're as well known. And if you're looking specifically, for instance, for like solutions to use as a teacher with students, the ones that I found through like the official like D&D site still point to things that use a lot of classic D&D tropes, but I mean that in terms of like artwork and like monsters. So I like this level of playfulness, but I also like that it's not so disconnected that it's like, here's a book and go figure it out. Like it's a whole, it's everything you need in the whole system. So
and you can just get the book if you already kind of understand that world. But if you need a little help, or you have younger people, or you just like having things more visual, that's available to you too. I do just like how accessible this is, and I just wish that there was a reason for me to purchase it. Instead, I need someone else who I care about or who wants to play this with. If you are listening, and this is you, buy this and we will play with you. We will. You can run a game with us 100%. I would love to play in this world because it just looks so colorful and so fun. You have until July 18th. So from release day of this episode, I believe that you've got 8 more days to pick this up. Something like that. So go on there. There'll be a link to it in the show notes. But yeah, Land of Eam, and then specifically the Dungeoneer's Adventure, or the Dungeoneer Adventure, is out there, and it's going to be super fun. With that being said, that's our category. So let's roll our dice to find out what we're talking about next time. That's everybody, right? Yeah, that was everybody. Let's roll our dice to see what we're talking about.
I was goofing around and rolled a nat 20. Didn't get it to happen again.
Wait, why didn't you just keep the nat 20?
Because I was just messing around. I feel like that doesn't count.
Oh. Okay.
You take this show way too seriously.
Yeah. It's like, okay, well.
Well, I rolled a 40, but I rolled the wrong dice. 1 second.
40? I was like...
I rolled a 3 and a 4, which is literally what Patrick rolled last time.
Which was 3 or 4? Or, which one was 4? Because I got a 4 on my 20.
No, it's a 3. A 3 is my 20. Yeah.
Patrick?
13 and 4.
Okay, so 3. Andrew, 3 is TV.
Okay.
You said 13, Patrick?
Yes.
13 games. And 4.
All right.
I just wrote any times.
Books. Cool.
I pluraled anytime.
Books 1, so pass. Okay.
So you got past books, Lauren. Ooh, please talk about Twilight. I can't wait to talk about that.
You know, I did read the first book. That's the only one I've read. And
I read them all.
Technically have watched the movies, but I don't remember what happens because I got so drunk.
The movie, that's good. That's the end of the movie.
And we basically I was told that I like Mystery Science Theater the whole third movie, and I don't remember anything that I said or anything that happens.
That's never happened to me. I can't think of one time when that's happened to me. Austin
Where
Powers.
you don't remember what happens in a movie?
You can find all the show notes and stuff that we just talked about, the links and everything over in mof1.network. And we talked about some things that there are links to. So go click on them and be a part of them and partake in the goodness of what we discussed today. You can show us your love by sharing the episodes and liking and rating and reviewing and all those things. Honestly, we're just past the liking and the reviewing. Just share them. Share them. Like, just go right now. You're listening. Just go click that little share button and share it on your Instagram story. Like, what the heck are you waiting for? Just do it. And then tag us, and so people can find us and start listening. Like, what's your problem?
I mean, they don't even have to tag us,
heated.
because if you share us in your Instagram story, they can just click it and go straight to our page.
Right, exactly. Nice. It's just it could not be easy.
Very low effort.
Every week that someone doesn't do it, I get madder at you, Kreider.
I was like, he probably shares the most out of anyone.
I know, which is why I said.
Yeah.
So yeah, do that. It doesn't take very little time, but it helps us out a lot. So share the wealth. And then, man, while you're on there, join the Slack community. There's a little Slack icon. Join the conversation in there where we talk about all sorts of this kind of stuff all the time. So we'd love to have that. Lauren, where do people find you on the internet?
You can find me at Not Cool Co. everywhere.
One of these days, you'll make it to cool. And I believe in you. And I just wanted the world to know that. Patrick, where do people find you?
At Janky.
And I'm at Andrew Sale with 3s instead of E's if you want to see pictures of babies. We are going to get out of this episode for now, though. I'm Andrew.
I'm Lauren.
I'm Patrick.
Everybody be good to the people around them, whether you know them, whether you like them, especially whether you agree with them.
Oh, it's a good one. Adios.
Bye.
I didn't come prepared with the toast, okay?
It got too real at the end. I apologize.
It's okay.
I'm just so tired of people being shitty to people. It's
no,
just
I really liked that.
The world is so bad. Can we just get better? We need to be better.
Be excellent to each other.
Yes, and to each other. And to always. And good night.
We did it.
Have you guys seen this thing about the land of Eam?
Yeah, my friend Andrew just told me about it.
It's fine. Really cool. It's not going to go anywhere. Just kidding.
You have the friendship?
The friendship.
Oh, man. So you want
Hey, I also tell you one thing real quick. One thing real quick.
No, wait.
No, I need to take this music out of it. I can't think because I'm listening to this music. There is someone, I've been looking at Craigslist, like just what do people post in my area? Most of it's chickens. But then there is one guy that keeps posting Lorcana, like enchanted cards.
Oh, yeah?
He's never going to sell them. Yeah, on Craigslist.
How
And,
much?
He'll just post one, and I just...
Are they, like,
and
good
I just
prices?
think, like... Oh, I don't know. I don't know the market for it. So I just see it and think, like, you're never selling that. And then, like, a month later, it'll pop back up again where he still hasn't sold it. But
send me a screenshot of it.
I'll next time it pops up, I'll send it to you. So
okay,
you can let me know if it's any good.
Well, yeah, and basically, between the two of us, if it's a good deal, we can lowball him enough to get that card.
Yeah.
He's got to be desperate at this point.
I'm going to get that card.
Oh, I'm going to get that card. That was not a bad Rocket Raccoon impression, everybody. And I had to tell you that it wasn't bad because you weren't sure of who it was.
Yeah.
What were you about to tell me? I think you were about to tell me something.
I was. I don't remember.
Even the cat knows to wait till the episode's over.
Even the cat knows. Yeah, Kreider. I would love to play games with Kreider. I don't know why you guys don't like him. I think I'd get along with him in person.
Oh, yeah, I've met him.
I love it. Lauren, you kind of responded to that as though Andrew was serious.
As you pet your cat. The whole thing just is funny to me.
But that said, I would never play games with Kreider.
Yeah, the more I think about it, the more I think that that's just setting a dangerous precedent.
Listen,
they say never meet your heroes, so I don't want him to meet me.
Listen, Kreider, probably because of Kreider, but was there when we set one of our best room records.
That's true. Yeah, I went in and out of the bathroom super quick when he was
like escape room?
Never seen anything like it. All right. Are we done?
Yeah. There was something I was going to say to you. Oh, I'm gonna tell you a story. Remember last week I shared that original piece of art that Jason Wydell sent.
Yes.
It's beautiful, super cute, so nice of him.
I already
he sent
said
me
yes.
This is for Lauren. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Lauren
You're
didn't
gonna send
see
it to Patrick?
It's
And it was Bambi.
And it was
Yeah.
Bambi, yeah, Bambi and Thumper, and like these little birds. And I was again super grateful, but it looked like it was drawn on an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, so it's harder to find frames for those kinds. I don't just have 8.5 by 11 frames around that I could just like repurpose for this. And so I went online and I ended up buying one. Came in today and I was so excited to put it up so that I could put it up above her bassinet and then take a picture and finally post it. Yeah, it turns out he trimmed it to 8 by 10. So the frame I got is too big. so
Nice.
stupid. So now
Why don't you just measure it?
I love it. You're just
No,
guessing.
what you're saying
baby
is
brain.
right.
Yeah.
What you're saying
Baby
is right.
brain.
I should have measured it. In my head, I was cocky. I went in cocky thinking like, oh, he was probably just pulled out a sheet of paper and just drew on it and didn't.
He's not considered enough to.
He's not a
like-
considerate guy. Clearly, he only.
Did he listen to the episode? Do you know?
I don't know. I didn't tell him I talked about it. I should tell him.
Oh,
I'll let him know.
yeah.
I'll let him
Makes
know.
sense,
I won't.
makes
I won't tell him about this part. I'll tell him about last.
No, tell about last week. I was hoping you were going to say that he sent you a Hellboy illustration. That's where I thought that was going.
That would be funny. All right. That was all. I just wanted to share that story with you. I was a little too cocksure, and turns out my frame is too big.
I don't
for
know
my
why
britches.
any of the artists that are listening right now waste your time. Waste your time sounds strong. The money is in frames. Like
Yeah.
all the time you're spending making art, you should be
selling frames.
selling frames instead. Go set up at these conventions and
I
just
buy all
sell
my frames
frames.
secondhand. Like I just go to like Goodwill and buy frames.
So you go buy all those up, mark them up 3 times, sell them.
That's the deal, man.
That's where the money's at.
deal.
Matting? Oh, that's like those people make mad money.
Maddie
I did
Matheson
just
has-
recently
Mad
like
price.
make my own mat for a frame because I was like, the picture I had was like a little bit too small. I made one. And it looked real nice.
But
Does I-
frames are such a racket, dude.
I agree.
Oh yeah,
I feel
absolutely.
like
That's why,
Kreider-
like I said, I buy them all secondhand.
Kreider just said this.
Yeah, IKEA frames are usually pretty cheap.
Yeah, they're cheap, but I thought they
They're
were
a
weird
pain.
sizes. I thought they were weird, like.
Some of them are, and
Not-
some of like the clips they use are like a pain. I don't know. I'm sure they have good ones. I have bought a couple IKEA frames. In fact, I have a Bambi print in an IKEA frame, and it was just like a pain to deal with. So
I thought they were all like odd European and like.
no, they
I
have.
I didn't realize that they were like.
Yeah, they have normal
they were-
sizes.
I thought it was all metric. They're all in centimeters, and I can't do the convert. I can't be bothered to do that. Conversion.
I mean, I think it's the same as like if you go to like Michael's and they have both listed, you know.
That's what I'm saying, Kate. Like, I feel like people pay like hundreds of dollars to get a single thing matted and
I
framed.
have paid hundreds of dollars
Yeah,
for one piece
there's-
of art to be framed. But
you
I
pay
paid
$60
way
for,
less,
for a
yeah.
Mondo print, and then you
Yep,
pay
that's-
$400
how'd you
to
know?
frame it. Yep.
Yeah, it's a really long, skinny one. It's a Aaron Horkey Jurassic Park one, but
Oh,
it's
yeah,
one of my favorites. Yeah, it's very long and
that's a
skinny,
good
so
one.
it's very expensive to frame.
Have you seen Jurassic World Rebirth yet?
No,
Why
but
are
I'm gonna go
we
this
not-
week. I'm very excited to go see it. I mean, I don't think it's gonna
gotta
be very
sell
good,
frames.
but I love dinosaur movies, so I'm very happy to watch it.
Patrick, did you just go, man, we gotta sell frames.
There's something there.
we
There's
gotta
something
figure out how to
there.
make money on this.
It's just-
It's called All of Michael's, and why their frames are always like 75% off.
but also, they need to be collapsible frames so we can sell them at conventions and people can buy them and take them home with them.
Ooh.
It's called. They have those like the sleeves that people put them in. Those like plastic sleeves.
Well, you said
I'm
it's
saying the
called,
frame.
and then you didn't give us a name.
Well,
You
I
gave
don't
us
know
a
what they're like
concept.
called, I guess, but like this, it's like a heavy duty plastic sleeve. Like I don't know what they're called.
For the
specifically.
5 people who are left watching this, thank you.
Yeah,
You're the real
really
ones.
thrilling, you guys.
You're the
but-
real ones.
But
Yeah.
it doesn't come with a collapsible frame, though, correct?
Oh, dude, it. Wait, mine? What?
What?
What are you
I was
talking
sa-
about?
You're
He
talking
was
about the
responding
sleeve.
to you.
I'm
Oh,
saying.
sorry.
I know you're talking about the sleeve, but is it like something you would frame on the wall? Does it come with
No.
like a frame? Yeah, that's what
No.
we need. Collapsible frames.
Where it like folds back.
Why-
Like the,
okay.
The long
I don't know why
side
you'd want to
folds.
carry around something that's heavier just to get
You
it
have to
home.
sell them at conventions, and you have to ship
Yeah.
them. Make shipping them easier too.
Well,
Less likely to get damaged in shipping.
that's true. What are you going to do for the glass?
You have to figure that shit out yourself.
Go to fucking Home Depot.
It's
Help
modular.
yourself.
You can buy it without the glass or with the glass.
And with the glass,
We'll figure it out.
the shipping is $300.
Yeah.
You have to you have to crate ship it.
You ain't paying for the frames. You're paying for the shipping. What can I say?
No one wants glass. No, it ruins the aesthetic of the poster.
Yeah, classically, that's what people say. When you frame things, don't put the protective
Don't
thing on
put
it.
the glass
It
on
ruins
it.
You're
it.
the only ones left watching
It
this.
ruins it.
We'll figure out the glass separately. Let's solve problem A first.
If we can do foldable screens, we can do flexible
Foldable glass. Yeah.
We can do
And
this.
it doesn't need to be
Foldable
like
glass
archival
sounds like
quality.
silent Velcro, like something totally fake that should be real.
No, I want to archive it, Patrick. Like if we're gonna shoot for the moon, let's just put all the bells and whistles in it.
Let's
you know?
shoot for the moon.
Yeah.
I agree. Everyone drop what you're doing.
Like your other $1 million idea, we're never gonna execute it. So why not just say it is a thing we want it to be at its highest?
Yeah,
peak
we can take
thing
this
we
to
want to
Shark
be.
Tank for sure. Collapsible frames.
that fit in your pocket. A 24 by 36 that will fold down to fit into your. Now it's the pocket.
Just
of
what I
Jenko's.
always wanted. Yeah.
It's the back pocket.
It's
of
called your
Jenko's.
backpack, but
Yeah.
it fit, didn't it?
In fairness, if you buy like the cheap, like, and when I say cheap, they're still $50. That's insane. But the plastic covering that serves as the glass, you could probably just roll up and put in a poster tube anyway.
That's true.
That stuff is flimsy.
Yeah.
Put your hand on your head.
What
Just
if instead?
funny.
Don't you put your hand
Oh,
on
Kate's
your
still
head.
here.
What if instead, let's lose the frames completely. The money's in sending artists to people's homes to muralize them. Muralize? Is that a
that's
word?
cool. I like. I
To
take it.
immural.
That's the name
To
of our
immural
company.
their
Muralize. That's the
I
name
think
of
an
it.
artist might see how much food they have in their pantry and not come back. I think we would just lose artists.
If we don't have, if you send people to the wrong house that doesn't have
If we
good
sent
snacks, they're just
poor
gonna quit.
artists-
Is that what you're saying?
To people's houses that could afford to bring them in. I don't
Yeah.
think we would get them back.
That's true.
I
They will
don't-
They will change their. They will change their.
They just end up moving in with the people. Like,
And I'll ask
they
them a
just
lot of
children.
questions. How did you get here? What did you study? We're gonna lose a lot of
Whoa,
artists.
whoa!
this way.
Slow down while I take notes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're back to collapsible frames. It's doable.
Yeah, that is doable.
forget Muralize. We're back to the frames.
Yeah.
All right.
Mural Eyes could have been another name for Jason Emiston's series, by the way.
Yeah.
But the frame is kind of the eye through which you view the artwork. This is the name of the company, Muralize.
Mural Eyes.
Yeah. Muralize.
I thought of it.
And it
Well,
would
there's
do
no
like
way
that,
to know for sure.
you know, like chimes in a sparkle.
There's definitely not going to be chimes.
I love the idea of I thought of, like trying to get to the punch on that to make sure that credit is given.
He gets the 34%.
to
I
an
guess.
idea that will never come to fruition.
Now I want to
Let
do
me
it
be
even
clear.
harder.
well, I'm gonna fruition this even harder now. Fruish
I'll think
this.
of it.
Fruish this.
Cool. All right, I'm going to leave.
Me too.
Great talking to y'all. I'm going to go and
This
type
is
bye
fun.
in chat.
I'm gonna go
Bye,
watch that
guys.
episode of Game Changer that I thought I watched earlier this week, but turns out I
Oh,
watched an
please
episode
enjoy.
from season
It's
one.
I,
super good.
for real, almost
It's
choked
super
on a
good.
piece of watermelon
go try to
because
watch
I
that.
laughed so hard.
Gonna go
Good
finish
night,
Dungeon
everybody,
Crawl.
and I do,
Yay!
Yes, thank you.
Start the
Carter.
next one.
Yeah, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Have a great night, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Disaster.